I was 5 minutes off finishing this episode.
I can call back.
Too bad!
Someone's
No, I
awake
was
this
just
early in the
watching.
morning.
I was just watching YouTube videos, so it's cool.
Yes, and I do it without coffee.
Coffee puts me to sleep, so that really wouldn't do anything.
Well, I've never had it, so. And it's probably a good thing. Because, yeah, I think I was up early-ish. I forget when I got up, but it was quite...
Well, technically, it's not early. It's almost 10 o'clock.
Well, no, I was up. I've been up for a while. For a good while. Hours. So.
Me too. I woke up at 8 yesterday.
8.
Mm-hmm. And after this, I can't stick around because I have a movie I'm going to. At 4.
Which movie is it?
A double feature of both Avenger movies.
Ooh, nifty.
Yeah.
Ooh, shiny.
No. Avengers, not Firefly.
Oh, I found the story.
I'm a leaf on the wind. What do we have? Okay, I'll take Harmony.
What?
Okay.
My last group was reading it, and if you listen to the old streams, they really killed it.
That's okay.
But did
You
they
really
bury
killed
it?
my fanfic too. We killed my fanfic too, so that's not...
We improved it with creativity.
Well, some
mean
of it was
you-
creative, some of it was just really no.
What was it? Fish Face or something was now Yoda for some reason?
No, I think it was Dog Pound.
Dog
was
Face,
Yoda.
Dog Face, yeah, okay.
Dog Pound was Yoda.
Oh yeah, Dog Pound was Yoda.
But no, I meant more of the way some Madrock would read sometimes, because instead of reading it like you would say it, he was reading it like a run-on sentence at points.
Yeah, sorry about that. My mind is exactly all together at this time in the morning.
Yeah. But I'm saying, so if anybody kills things, it's you.
Wake up, Mr. Madrock.
Wakey, eggs and bakey.
And sometimes I don't see the period. Hey, what? It's the joys of being dyslexic.
Oh, that's not what I was laughing about. I'm sure that's not what Dex was laughing about either.
You have a very dirty mind.
Yes, we do.
I have a dirty mind for knowing what you're laughing about.
Hey, I have an excuse for knowing, for thinking that.
Yeah, what's your excuse, Dex?
I have no
He's secretly a
excuse.
woman.
Yes, I just happen to have a very deep voice. Notice you've never seen my face. I'm just a woman with a very deep voice.
I'm just a man with
Or-
a very high voice.
Or I have an audio
I'm a
changer.
I'm a gelding.
Well, guess it's safe to start streams.
It's never
Just
safe.
don't cross the
It's
streets.
never safe. What
Just
are you
don't
talking
trust.
about?
That was creepy.
What? The...
Sounded like Woody Woodpecker.
I would like to say that is the worst attempt at that I've ever heard. But I would sadly be lying.
Let me guess, you tried once?
No, not me. Somebody else I know.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't go high enough for it. Or fast enough.
Well, gotta...
I'd probably fail at it too, because I've never tried it either.
No, I could probably pull the
And he
flutter
started
guy
this-
thing. Flutter guy thing. She's an evil enchantment.
Technically, when we get to that point, would I be singing the Flutter Guy line?
Pretty much.
Yes.
That or I'm going to have to go super falsetto
In your
and...
little Mickey Mouse voice.
She's an evil enchantress, she does evil dances. Flim. It's a good way to get out of Flim, though. Of
Yeah.
course, the best way in the world to get rid of Flim is to try and do the voice of Soldier from TF2. Because he's got like a voice that sounds like he smokes like a 6-pack every 2 minutes. Well, smokes a 6-pack. What am I talking? Smokes a pack every 6 minutes. And I'm not even going to try it here because it hurts.
Is Soldier the one that's shipped with Pyro, or is the other S?
I'm not familiar with any shipping really in the TF2 universe.
I don't know either, but I mean in the story we're working on.
Oh, no, he's the
Because
one
I'm not
that-
even familiar with the verse.
He's,
So
okay, he's the one that goes off with Derpy. He goes off to live with Derpy and Dinky. At least in the first couple chapters.
Mhm.
He's the one that, yeah, he's mostly with Derpy. You know, he's the one that's going, follow orders and whatnot. He's the little nutty. If you watch, let's start-
Engineer is the one.
probably, yeah, it's probably somebody else. Yeah, because Soldier is nuts. If you watched that, Let's Start made that quick trailer for the show. You can actually hear what he sounds like. He's about,
I think
mine's
I've
about
heard
3/4 of the way through the video. But it's like the last entry on that thread. Second to last entry on that thread. About 3/4 through. I forget exactly what it is. I'm right after Medic.
It's just hard to keep all these characters straight at the beginning,
Yeah.
when you're not familiar with the fandoms.
Yeah.
I'm just glad I only have to do one.
I have
At the
4,
moment.
5. I have 5
Me too.
because I'm Trixie
Wait, how
too.
I only had 2 lives.
I am Rainbow Dash. I am Celestia. I am Pyro. I am Demoman, and I am Trixie.
I am...
Don't forget there are
Bye.
more female characters and there are more male characters coming. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Currently, I have only one. I'm only the Soldier, so that
and
may
I also
change.
discovered that the Pyro voice actually does kind of fuck up your voice if you do it too long.
I'm...
Well, the thing is, Pyro normally doesn't speak. Well, Pyro speaks, but it's always a... You can't hear through the mask. It's always a mumble. So it's weird that...
So Pyro is Kenny.
pretty much.
Basically, except for we don't know what the Pyro's sex is. It's always been kind of a fun mystery as to who... Some people have different theories and whatnot, but some think that the Pyro is a girl under all that suit, and some think Pyro's a guy under that suit. But it's it's been kind of suggested both ways, and I don't think it's ever been really confirmed either way. because he or she is underneath that whole get-up. So there's no telling
Well,
what
in this
he,
one,
she
it's
is.
the she.
Yeah.
Although it's kind of funny because I'm also a male character in this.
Demoman.
Yes. Well,
I am drunk. What's your excuse?
Hey, Dex.
What?
You
you have
recording?
no right
Yes.
to insult us Scots. I do because I am Scottish, but... Okay, so reading now, or do we want to go into the chat? The review first.
Review.
All right. Whenever we're ready.
I'm ready.
Are you ready?
Sneezy. Ready.
Aye, Captain.
Alright, so if you watch my audio blog, you already know about this, but watch isn't the right word, listen, because it's not really a visual, because I don't want to deal with copyright strikes. But anyway, moving on, two main ideas, the two main parts to this thing were, the most obvious one is it's trying to give a scientific message that, animals hibernate. They've already kind of covered it, but one thing that I see it a lot is that it seems that whenever they talk about hibernation, they don't always go in depth about reptiles doing it as well. Or it's not really focused that, hey, they also do it. So I did like
except
that.
for that one tiny little snake scene.
Yeah, it's not, but yeah. I mean, like, mostly what I remember as a kid, it was always, oh, look at the bunnies, they're going to go hibernate. And it's like, or something like that.
I grew up with a bit more of a reptile infatuation, so...
Yeah, so, yeah.
I knew more about the reptiles.
Alright, the second more important lesson now, you may think I'm going a little bit out on the limb here, but I'll just say my piece.
Dealing with grief?
Yeah, the second more important lesson is dealing with loss, even temporary loss, especially the loss of a pet. I mean, he's going away, but he's coming back. It could be said that the story is almost a very blunted, extremely blunted death episode. Hibernation is a temporary condition, and we're dealing with a pet rather than a pony, but the running theme is the same, grief, loss. This could also go for help young kids. It's a story for young kids who may have older brothers and sisters who are leaving for college or leaving the house and doing whatever they're going to do. And, they're leaving. They'll be gone, but they'll be back. That sort of thing. That's my main two ideas.
I found it actually very interesting how they incorporated the entire process of dealing with grief into the episode.
Yeah, the whole
Rainbow
5
Dash's
stages.
Eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did it so well and so fluidic that it just worked with the short storyline as opposed to normally it would take a long time to deal with that sort of thing.
Well, with her acceptance thing, not acceptance, when she's in her room, they say she's been kind of sad for a while. She's been kind of apathetic in kind of the way she was in the end. She's been that way a while. This is just some time has passed between...
Yeah, but at the same time,
yeah.
dealing with depression still takes a lot longer than a few days.
Yeah. But, yeah, at least, we see the 5 stages, which was actually perfectly segueing into what I've got next, if nobody else has anything. Okay. We see denial. We're talking about, it's very clear when she's talking to Fluttershy about her book, and it's like, tortoises don't hibernate, that's just a joke, complete denial.
Second opinion.
Obvious, just, there it is. You have anger. She's blowing up at Pinky in front of the rest of the 6, which... I'll go ahead and it's in my details, but I want to kind of bring it in here. I love that, we see Pinky, bringing in the intelligence again. It's like, she she's the one talking about hibernation. It's like, oh yeah, it's hibernation.
Mm-hmm.
It's like,
And like it's such a common, it's such a
easy thing for her.
Duh.
Yeah, I love that. She's got that. I love the as I
love
go.
when they incorporate the hidden intelligence she has.
Yeah, I love that. I always love it when they confirm kind of my nagging theory that she's, nagging. She's actually, she's fairly intelligent behind all the goofiness. Bargaining, when she lists off some activities for them to do. It's like, we can do this, we can do that, we can do this. Come on, she's bargaining.
Also, the whole trying to
that was
stop winter, that was part of the bargaining thing.
That was my next statement. That was the next thing that was coming out of my mouth. It's right here on my paper. It's like, oh, you're reading my paper,
I
too.
actually took notes on this episode, too, because I actually had, it's kind of hit closer to home this week.
Okay.
Not getting into that, but yeah.
Well, depression, I mean, that one was in a room, plain as day. I also love the fact that Pinky just walks through the wall. It's like, if you ever had any concern about what her house is made of, it's made of clouds. If you ever thought, well, maybe she's like, it's floating stuff that they bring up there. No, that's clouds that's just been formed into a wall somehow. But that one was probably the easiest one. And then... Oh, good.
I also love the fact that it also shows Fluttershy and how she kind of carries over that you gotta be cruel to be kind motion, where...
Yeah, like she got at the breezies.
She's... That, sometimes you have to be a little harsh so that they can get over what their problem is.
Yeah,
sometimes they have to deal with it themselves.
Yeah, it may seem mean, but... it may be mean for the moment, but in the long run, it's going to be much healthier for them to deal with it now, get over it, move on, and, understand it. That's actually, that's down my list. I got mine stuff separated out, but yeah, that's also in my notes.
Oh, I had mine, sorted through based on,
chronological order?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, mine's kind of chronological order, but it's also split into 3 phases, like main hit points, and then major themes, and then it's got little detail bits that I loved. There were some great character bits and some interesting thoughts, because we could have a whole conversation about whether Rainbow Dash is out of character here in terms of how emotional she gets about this. I'll just read off my paragraph I've got on the subjects. Is Rainbow Dash out of character? Why is her reaction so extreme? We do see some clues in her song, which I really like the rock tune to it. This season has had some nice music already, especially little character pieces like AJ's song and now Dash's song. I see 2 main parts that really hit on some issues Dash may have. I will keep you by my side, so I will not be alone. So I'll be the one who doesn't have to say goodbye. These 2 phrases aren't in of themselves telling, but the reaction we get is far more intense than just missing him. Does it speak to deeper abandonment issues for Dash or something of that nature? It could be just a little out of character moment, or it could be something more deeply ingrained in her psyche. Perhaps we see her quest for glory as a way to get the approval, affection, and attention of others in order to fill some deeper void. We know she can be insecure given her reaction at the Best Young Flyers competition.
Yeah.
Well, from a psychological perspective, her behavior throughout the entire series and how she's always tries to be the best and tries to be kind of, oh, I don't feel even when she does, that could show to deeper emotional issues like an extreme loss, because like how Applejack, she cries on the inside, and Rainbow Dash, she doesn't let people get close to her because she's afraid of losing them. That is also incorporated into her loyalty, and how she's so loyal because she clings to those she is afraid to lose.
Yeah.
She isn't loyal to many, but
think
what
she's
she
out of
is
character
loyal
at
to.
all.
Yeah, that's just a kind of a. It's dealing with the people who are going to say she was out of character. I don't think she was necessarily out of character. It might have been just a little much, but it was. I think it had more deeper roots in her character.
Yeah, and the fact that she shows so little overt emotion throughout the entire series kind of shows why she would feel so strongly in this episode. Because she's one of those, she bottles it up, which means that when an emotional thing occurs, it just explodes out. She just can't handle it, which also explains why she went through the stages so quickly.
Yeah, I mean, she's the one that acts all tough.
She doesn't like to show her frailties and her emotions because she's afraid of
being uncool. Weak. Yeah. Not being awesome. Crying's not awesome. Yeah.
Nope. It's kind of like
her
her when she first got into reading. That same, I need to cover it up because it isn't within my character of how I portray myself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's something else I wanted to... It's a point you made, I think. Yeah, loyalty. About loyalty. Yeah, she doesn't give her loyalty out easily, but once it's there, she's extremely loyal, and so that kind of feeds into what you were already saying about, this and that. We also see her do a lot of projection. She's like, she's constantly projecting onto Tank. It's like he wants, this isn't completely surprising from her kind of ego and bravado. It's like you must think me kind of thinking the way, whatever. But we already talked about Fluttershy. She'll never get past this until she lets it all out. Some interesting little bits. An interesting topic that I'm not exactly sure, but why does Twilight push AJ into it of all ponies? I have a theory, but we'll see what you have to say.
I love that part.
Yeah.
I cried inside.
From kind of personal experience, whenever I'm one of those kind of like Rainbow Dash and AJ where I don't actually express my emotions very often. So it's kind of she was the rock at the time because the others were getting so emotional that they needed a stabilizer. They needed somebody who wouldn't get emotional.
Yeah, well, but Twi also didn't get emotional about this, and I've got something to say about that later, but another theory could also be that she's also got some experience dealing with, emotions, strong emotion, because she's dealing with Apple Bloom all the time, and kids aren't exactly subtle about their emotions a lot of the time. So maybe she deals with that sometimes, and so that may be something she did. A little detail that I loved when Rarity cried. Her mascara runs. She doesn't have clear or blue tears. They're gray because her mascara is running or what? Yeah, I think I've got the right makeup item there, but yeah, it runs, and so I thought that was a lovely little detail. One thing, when Twilight says, "I know how hard it is to say goodbye." Now, at first I couldn't think of anything where she had to say goodbye. I mean, it could have been in the past. We just don't know much. We don't know everything about her because, sometimes it was a lot of, growing up in Canterlot, and so the other ponies don't know what she did while she was young. But perhaps she went through a similar thing with Shining Armor when he went off for training for the Royal Guard. Perhaps, there's basically equivalent of boot camp, and he was sent off, it was probably still in Canterlot, but it was probably kind of a sequestered off area where they can focus purely on training, and they don't really leave the facility until...
Or even when she went to train with Celestia as her star pupil, because that required a lot of isolation from her family, who was, as she said, her only friends growing up. Her only social contact growing up was her family, and then she had to leave them behind to take and do her studies.
But what makes me wonder, though, is do the rest of the Sparkles, the Sparkle clan, I'll call them for now, where do they live? I assume they live in Canterlot, but, I mean, being unicorns, it would make more sense that they would live in Canterlot as well. But, again, we don't know for certain, but I would...
Well, according to the game, they live in Canterlot.
Yeah, and it would seem the fact that she was babysat by Cadence...
Yeah.
That would suggest that she was also... they were also in Canterlot. So, all of them may have been in... All four of them may have been in Canterlot. But, yeah, they may not have seen much of... Twilight may not have seen them as much as she'd have liked since she went to the school. I'm not sure if she was it was like a boarding school where, she had, she was living there, but it could have been, or she could have been at home and just commuted to school.
Yeah.
But I would definitely say, that's definitely a point. It could have been a boarding school, and she went there and she didn't see her parents as often as she used to. Instead of seeing them all the time, she saw them only some of the time. Yeah. But it could also, but I think Shining Armor would definitely be one that that you couldn't say that. Well, it was probable that he was separated from her. Applejack cries on the inside.
That was funny. It's true.
I love it's true. I love that. That's AJ to a T, but I guess it's really pouring on the Southern stereotype of the kind of steel magnolia. The she's feminine. She's got her points where she's very feminine when she's taking care. She's being motherly or something or other, and we see that from time to time. Occasionally, she'll dress up like one episode with Trenderhoof, but she can be feminine, but she's also incredibly tough and strong, and so that may be part of her kind of toughness. She's admittedly more steel than Magnolia, but she definitely has...
Also because she has to deal with Apple Bloom so much.
That too.
She learned at probably a young age that she had to... She couldn't show her emotions because she had to take care of somebody else.
Yeah, she couldn't afford to. She had to be careful about how much emotion she showed.
Mm-hmm. And what kind of emotions.
Yeah. Anything else? I'm down to little things, little details that I thought.
Don't really have anything.
I think another part of the overall story is of how Rainbow Dash was trying to change Tank to fit her needs.
Yeah.
That was another moral subject that they kind of threw at you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, hockey playing ponies!
It's horse hockey.
It's pony hockey.
No, it's horse hockey. She said it was horse hockey. That's
Okay,
the name of
horse
the game.
hockey. But still, I need to screen cap that because I need to put Blackhawks uniforms on them.
Which, if you're familiar with some slang, if you're unfamiliar, horse hockey is also kind of a cleaned up version of saying BS.
Oh,
Okay,
Yeah.
there
That's
I did
horse
not know
hockey.
that.
Yeah,
There's
that's
one.
another. That's if you're growing up with that that phrase, it was a little funnier because that's what horse hockey
I was
means.
not aware of that phrase.
Yeah, that's a bunch of horse hockey.
There was one part I really thought was funny in the episode. I love the open skies bit.
Oh
Yes.
yes, that was amazing.
Over by open skies.
Where? There's open skies everywhere.
everywhere.
No,
Open
I'm over
skies is
here.
right here.
I love that bit.
Okay, near the clear skies. I'm right here.
See, this is the
Okay.
problem with having names based on common nouns.
Yes. Okay, what do you call all this? Clear blue skies.
Clear open.
Hey, where'd all our fluffy cars go?
Fluffy clouds is over
Where'd all our fluffy clouds go? Fluffy clouds is right there. You know what it reminds me of? Who's on first?
Yeah,
that
that's
old
what it
Abbott and
was.
Costello thing.
Yeah, that was Abbott and Costello through and through. I loved it.
Yes, I giggled both times I watched it. Well, not literally giggled. Chuckled. Maybe snickered.
Sounds like you're walking that one back, huh?
No, they're different types of laughs.
Well, walking back,
Possibly a turtle.
walking back, how hard you laughed.
No. A giggle is like a... but a chuckle is more like a... type thing.
I always thought giggle was a little more expressive of laughter than a snicker. Snicker would be, or a chuckle. Chuckle would be. But anyway, getting into my own definitions of things is getting out into the weeds. So let's come back to fun little things. What I loved, what I found funny, and it makes sense, but it never really occurred to me. Cloudsdale moves.
Yeah.
Cloudsdale moves. That's something right there. They're next for winter. I mean, Cloudsdale being near means they're next for winter.
I mean, we kind of already knew that Cloudsdale moved in the Hurricane Fluttershy episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like I forgot about that because I've only watched it like once. But it was
There
just
was
kind of a.
There was something else about that I find it interesting that they use magic to cause winter, but they cannot, for any reason, use magic to stop winter, to clean up winter.
No, that's in Ponyville.
No, but I mean,
It
in
was-
Ponyville, it's okay to use magic to cause winter, but
because
it's
it was originally an Earth Pony settlement. That's why they use Earth Pony things to clear it up. Like it was stated in that episode that
Yeah,
Cantwell
I
used
know.
magic to clean it up, so why couldn't Ponyville? And then they were told that Ponyville was originally an Earth Pony settlement, so that's why they don't.
But how did they end up with? I guess Pegasus magic is fine. They're okay with Pegasus making
using
snow.
I mean,
Unicorn
how else would they
magic,
create winter?
Yeah. They're okay with Pegasus making snow because that's what Pegasi do. But they were a little bit they can't change that, but they can change how they attack
But they
cleaning
were
up
using
winter.
unicorn magic too in the episode to cause winter.
When were
Oh, you
they
mean to
using-
put up the slide tights?
When were they using
Yeah.
unicorn magic for winter?
When they were walking through the town, there were a bunch of unicorns putting stalactites up on the
Really?
On the trees
the-
and the houses and stuff.
Yeah.
I must have missed that. Which
So
ma-
they were, and I think there were like one or two other points they were using unicorn magic.
I must have missed it. Oh well. Which
We were just talking small details.
yeah.
Yeah.
But that also does bring up a larger point, because I think she originally gains Tank in Season 2, doesn't she? Episode 7? Yeah, so if they don't
That was
if they don't air it, no, I mean if they don't air it properly, if they don't create episodes to be aired in a proper order. But if it did happen, then The Heartswarming Eve, which happened 3 episodes after we originally see Tank, that would have been the first winter.
Shh. Don't worry about it.
No,
I know.
that's what bugs me. You and your Americans with your fucking white Christmas bullshit.
What are you talking about? I get green Christmases almost every year. Beautiful.
Hey, we
Your
don't
face
get.
in
We
winter?
don't usually get. We don't usually get White Christmas until New Year's around here, and then we get hit with a fuck ton of snow for like
At least
a
you
month
get
and a half.
snow.
Oh,
You're
almost-
complaining about the cold, bro. Stop whining.
I've never actually experienced snow in my life.
Okay. You
So
know how
I
cold
can,
you
I
are
can
now?
complain about getting snow.
No. You know how cold you are now? Quadruple that, and then add wet.
I can complain about
can't
not getting snow. Because
okay,
I've
then
never
you can't
actually
complain about being
experienced it.
cold.
I can complain about cold because I've experienced it.
Then you can't
You see
complain
my
about
logic with that?
snow. No.
I
I
would
can
figure.
complain about not. I
You
can complain
can't
about
have
not getting to
both.
experience something that I've never had.
You can't have
Once
both.
I've
You can't have
experienced it,
cold
then I'll
and
complain
not.
about it.
You can't have not cold and have snow. It doesn't work.
No, but I've never experienced what you Americans call a white
go
Christmas.
Don't get. I find it funny that their winter episode is in springtime.
Well, keep in mind, they can hit their own winter, so they do create their own seasons. But that brings up another point. Does that mean they've got several seasons in between? Like, I know we've got spring, winter, blah, blah, blah. But does that mean they've got, like, 2 periods of summer? If Cloudsdale moves?
No, it's just like
I mean, what if something would have happened? Like, that could put off an entire seasonal rotation.
that's probably when they use unicorn magic.
Yeah, no, fuck your unicorn magic.
That's
that's-
a whole
that-
other stream, bro.
That is a phrase when I woke up this morning I did not think I would hear. You don't want to hear F your unicorn magic.
At least he said you're not with.
Oh, and the
Because
other
that would
thing
be a
with
whole
this,
other discussion.
if Cloudsdale moves, it must be heck on the postal service. Where's Cloudsdale? Oh, it's over Dodge Junction. Oh, I'm in the complete wrong part of.
That's why Derpy looks the way she does. She's got the
Because she always has to
Cloudsdale
fly?
rotation.
So she has to constantly deal with where Cloudsdale is, and that's what threw her off about the birds. It's like
Yes.
Cloudsdale is supposed to be over there. No, it's over there. It's supposed to be the north. No, wait, it's
She was
Just get her a
going towards
compass.
Cloudsdale to get.
and
She
Cloudsdale
was using
moved.
Cloudsdale.
So, any other stuff to talk about till we move on? I mean, before we move on.
I've got a bunch of stuff to talk
Any
about
reason?
the episode.
Okay.
Continuity. I loved Running of the Leaves. That was cool.
That's
Um,
good.
Fluttershy apparently is the local vet.
Bet.
Veterinarian.
Yeah, you said net.
No, I said
No, he
vet.
said vet.
It's a bet.
I heard net.
Maybe it's on my thick accent.
That could be.
What kind of accent is that?
I don't know. I just
I
don't
don't
know
know.
what's
That
the
sounded
weirdest
like a
accent I
cross
could.
between Southern Cajun and I don't know what.
It might have been some
And
Italian in
maybe
there too.
Jamaican.
Yeah. Gosh.
A lot of this has
With
already
3
been
words.
hit.
Ouch.
It's a multinational accent.
Gosh, yes.
Okay, a lot of my stuff's already been kind of covered. I know it's a goose bill, but I'm tempted to call her Dashy Duck. I know I'm horrible.
Yes.
They can actually capture lightning in a bottle, quite literally.
That was a shocking experience, I gotta tell you.
Dash, you are so fired from the weather manager job. And how you got away with that? You're friends with the princess. That's how you got away with that.
Well, I don't think anybody actually knows that she did it.
Yeah, because if you remember, they were
all away when it happened. But if they ever figured out,
they saw her when they first saw her. Even her friends were like, "Rainbow Dash, are you okay?" As if they thought she just got caught in it too.
Like they will never know.
Let's hope there's no surveillance.
We've got Game of Thrones reference. I don't watch Game of Thrones nor read its books, but I got the meme. The meme is there. The meme has been spoken. Spike is surprisingly a great skater for some reason.
Practice.
I mean, he's like the only one that doesn't have to control 4 limbs.
Yeah,
well,
that might make it easier.
Twilight can't skate, so one of them has to.
Yep.
And they might have had more, ice rinks and maybe Canterlot. I don't know.
That Twilight never went to because she was in her books.
Yes, but Spike ran off too and did his thing.
He was bored.
Yeah. I'm curious. This last one is kind of a... I don't know. I wonder what, the apples do in winter. I would imagine it's not a whole lot because they can't really plant anything. Because we can't, Applejack's line, we can't grow in this cold. So she's going to have a lot of time off in the winter. I guess they make cider, but that seems to be about it.
Yeah, I think they do what my family does. I think they make cider in a can. Can the apples.
Yeah, that's probably about what they do. But I imagine they have a lot of free time because they work so hard during spring, summer, and fall, tending to everything.
Well, besides that, Applejack does a lot more than just the apple thing. Remember the episode where she was helping every pony else?
Yeah, well, she's got time to do that because
exactly.
she doesn't have anything on the farm. So she's got a lot of free time to do that sort of thing because...
And there are still animals on the farm she's got to take care of.
I suppose.
And also, you still have to maintain the trees so they don't, get frostbite or die from the cold.
Well, they go dormant. I mean,
you still have to take care of them a little bit. My family owns an apple orchard, so...
Oh, okay. Well, yeah.
I
imagine it's not nearly as much upkeep as during the season.
It's not that much upkeep. It's just every
go check on them every once in a while. Yeah. But yeah, they're not doing nearly as much in the winter. No. Yeah, no. That's my main point.
Make sure the beavers aren't causing any more skating rinks.
The beavers are probably hibernating. Do beavers hibernate? I would assume so.
Yes, they do. They actually build dams, and their dams are blocked off through the entire winter because the water exit freezes over.
Yeah.
So there's no way to get to them until spring melts it.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah. So, I mean, they wouldn't even necessarily have to worry about the beavers. I mean, just keep an eye on the trees.
Everyone. A joke.
Well, I mean, if they hibernate, then they don't have to worry about it. That's my main thrust of that is they won't have to worry about it. So, I mean, there's just less work to do on the orchard, on Sweet Apple Acres, while winter is going. So she has a bit more free time.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's about all I really wanted to talk about. Anybody got anything else?
All my things have already been said.